Happy Easter, everyone. I have an Easter book I want to read to the kids called Peter Rabbit. Look at him sitting there munching on those radishes. Oh no, I don't care for radishes myself, but Peter Rabbit does. Let's see. Bear with me now, okay? You see all the little bunny rabbits? Okay, once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a very big tree. See, there's Mom and all the bunnies under the root. Okay. See? Let's see now. Now, my dears, said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there, and he was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor. Doesn't sound like a good pie. Run along and don't get into mischief. I am going out. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather their blackberries. You see? Where's Peter? Oh boy, let's find out what kind of trouble Peter's going to get into. But Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. First, he ate some lettuce and some French beans, and then he ate some radishes. And then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. You know, parsley's good for you when you have an upset tummy. So there's Peter eating all the radishes in Mr. McGregor's garden. Oh boy. But round the end of a cucumber frame, who should he meet but Mr. McGregor? Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, thief!" Oh, is he a thief or was he a hungry rabbit? Surely Mr. McGregor could have shared with him. He ran on 4 legs then, and faster, and he might have gotten away altogether if he had not run into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons. Quite new. Peter gave himself up for lost and cried. His sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows who begged him to save himself. Mr. McGregor had a basket and was about to pop it on top of Peter. But Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind. Oh, see? Oh, goodness. Let's see what happens now. I'm a little afraid. How about you, Andrew? He rushed to the tool shed and jumped into a watering can. It would have been the perfect hiding place if it had not had so much water in it. Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, and he began to search it carefully. Then Peter sneezed. Ka-choo! And Mr. McGregor was after him in no time. There he is in the watering bucket with water. Made him sneeze. Didn't know water could make you sneeze. Peter was so trembling with fright that he had not the least idea which way to go. He was also very damp from sitting in that can. He tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. He came to a pond, where there was a white cat staring at some goldfish. She sat very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched, as if it were alive. Peter thought it best to go away without speaking to her. He had heard about cats from his cousin, Benjamin Bunny. See? The white cat? Aha! I can just imagine her tail twitching. How about you, Andy Roo? He turned back towards the tool shed when he heard the noise of a hoe, scratch, scratch, scritch. Peter scuttered underneath the bushes. When nothing happened, he came out and saw Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was towards Peter, and beyond him was the gate. Freedom. I hear freedom. Peter started running as fast as he could go. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner, but Peter did not care. He slipped underneath the gate and was safe at last in the wood outside his garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jacket and the shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Yeah, see there? He lost his jacket. Oh, yeah, he's become a scarecrow, his clothes. Peter didn't stop running till he got home to the big fir tree. He was so tired that he flopped down on the floor and shut his eyes. His mother was busy cooking. She wondered what he had done with his clothes. It was the second jacket and pair of shoes that Peter had lost in 2 weeks. Boy, look at him. He's pretty tired. And where did Mama get those onions? And carrots and things. Did she go buy them, or did she steal them from Mr. McGregor's garden? And there's his brothers and sisters, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, looking on. Peter did not feel very well that evening. His mother put him to bed and gave him a dose of chamomile tea, 1 tablespoonful to be taken at bedtime. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and milk and blackberries for supper. There, that's the end. Okay, that's a story of Easter for Andrew. I have one more, Andy Roo. Okay? Love you. Happy Easter.